Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it has been forever, what it seems like forever since I've filmed. It's been a couple months, just gotten busy with work and things, so I'm ready to jump back in. We're going to start today off with a fall makeup tutorial, which I'm super excited about. It's finally feeling like fall. Recently it's been in the 80s and 90s, so today and yesterday it started to feel like fall, so it was like 60s and 70s, which is perfect. I could live in that weather all year round. So we're gonna go ahead and get into the makeup tutorial. If you've never been here before, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell down below so you don't miss any more videos. I'm so excited that you all joined me for this today, and I'm so excited to just go ahead and get into the video. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is pin back my hair because I don't want it to get into my face. I've got a lot of hair, so if I keep it down, my foundation's definitely gonna get into it. So I'm gonna go ahead, okay, and just pin that back. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is prime the face. I'm gonna be using this Tatcha, the Silk Canvas Primer. I really like this stuff. And if you guys see me looking down, I'm looking at my mirror so I can see what I'm doing. But yeah, so I just like to take this and just kind of put it in areas where I think I have a lot of pores. That's really where I try to concentrate it, or where I think I'm starting to develop maybe a fine line or two. That's really where I focus it. And I don't know if it makes any sense, but I also stick it right here on any blemishes that I might have. I think it just kind of helps to smooth everything out. And this is like it's not a silicone primer. It's hard to describe the texture of it. It's really slippery, but it also kind of just glides over your pores so that everything else can kind of sit there and it doesn't cake up or smudge or get in weird crevices. It's really, really nice. And as you can tell, I've used a lot of it. So the next thing we're going to use is my Neutrogena Hydro Boost Hydrating Tint. And this is the shade Classic Ivory. I get pretty fair in the wintertime, so gotta use this. And it comes with a sponge applicator like this, like a doe foot applicator. So I just go ahead and take that and put it on my cheek. I put it on the biggest area of my face first. And I do one section at a time because it does oxidize a little bit, so I want to make sure I get it nice and blended out before it starts to change color on me. So I just kind of, and I know this looks like a lot, but it is a tint. It's not a foundation, so you don't have to be scared about that. Then I'm just going to take my Beauty Blender and I'm just going to tap that in, because if you smudge it, it's not going to give you as good of coverage or as natural of coverage or finish as if you did if you patted it in like I'm doing right now. And it actually has pretty good coverage for a tint. And I'm really messy with this. This is like my everyday foundation. I love this stuff. It just seems to blend in so well, and I'm just at this stage right now where I don't want anything to look cakey on my face. I want everything to look as natural as possible while making my skin look good. So make sure you blend that just a little bit down the neck so that you're not getting that harsh demarcation line. Okay. And I also use this as my concealer. I don't know, I've done this for a while. I just think that it doesn't sit awfully. So it doesn't sit in my fine lines under my eyes too bad. And then whenever I'm putting on stuff under my eyes, I like to look up, just because it ensures that you don't have any of those crevices closed. You know what I'm saying? So when you look up, what you're doing is you're lifting that skin under your eye, and then when you put product under there, it's a smooth canvas. So that's why you want to look up. Now, if I'm looking down, obviously I'm going to have those wrinkles or those fine lines under there. So you want to look up, and even right before you set your under eyes, you want to look up again, just to ensure that you're not setting a crease. You want to just set the under eye without all those wrinkles. Okay? And you can definitely do this all at once. You don't have to do steps like I'm doing, like, you know, the forehead, the cheeks, the eyes. You can do it all at once. I just have found that this is the best way that it works for me. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so I'm satisfied with that coverage. So now what I'm gonna go ahead and do is use my favorite powder on a budget. This is the Coty Airspun powder in the shade Translucent Extra Coverage. And this is my favorite powder. You get a ton of it. So I'm just gonna shake some into the lid. And then we're going to set the face. So the first thing I do is just look up, setting those under eyes, and I like to set my face with a sponge. There's something about a damp sponge setting your makeup, because I think it really does set it. Instead of just sitting on top like a brush would do, for my skin type, I just feel like really pressing in the powder with that same sponge or another damp sponge really make sure that makeup isn't gonna go anywhere. And this is one of my favorite powders. And also it doesn't make it as cakey in my opinion, you know? Okay, now we're gonna move on to the eyes. So we're gonna be using, this is one of the palettes I use all the time, and it's got the most versatility in my opinion. So this is the Soft Glam palette by Anastasia, and this is the inside of it. We're gonna go straight in with Burnt Orange, and we're gonna go in with my Morphe M433 brush. And I'm just gonna grab a little bit on the brush, tap it off, and then, actually, wait a minute, let me zoom you guys in. Is that better? Okay, here we go. So anyway, what I was saying was I'm just gonna get a little bit on the brush. I'm just gonna tap a little bit on here, let me see, like that. Okay, then tap off the excess, and then I'm gonna move my mirror over here so I can see, because I definitely can't. I'm just gonna go straight in on this crease. Hopefully you can see. Now, I'm being very messy. So I'm taking it on my lid. I'm taking it on the crease. I'm being careful though, not to take it too far into the inner corner. And I'm taking it just right to that brow bone, right there. And I'm kind of just doing circular motions, as you can see, just to diffuse that color out. Now you can definitely use a transition color, excuse me, instead of using this. So this is a color we're using. This is Burnt Orange. You could definitely use something like this as Orange Soda. You could use Orange Soda first, the lighter color, and put that up in your crease to kind of act as that ombre up the eye, but it almost does the same thing for me if I just do this. So I'm just going to repeat the same thing on the other eye, and this is just what I love to do for fall. I love this kind of smoky, blown out look. Okay, so now what we're going to do is go in with a little bit of Sienna, which is this reddish color right here, and we're gonna take that and we're gonna try to concentrate that a little bit on the outer corners and on the lid, if that makes sense. So I'm just gonna grab a little brush. Let me grab it. Okay, so this is the brush I'm gonna use. This is a Morphe M506. I'm gonna take a little bit of Sienna And we're just gonna, I'm gonna close my eyes so you can see, we're just gonna fluff that on the lid and in that outer corner. Now I use a fluffy brush with this color because it's more pigmented and it's darker than the last one. And I also am holding my fingers back here with this blending brush, if you'll notice. I like putting the deeper color on the lid because it kind of creates that gradient color that you're wanting, you know? You're wanting these smoky tones, but you don't want it to look too intense, and you also want it to look wearable. I would totally wear something like this to work. Okay, I'm gonna trade brushes and go back in with this one, and we're just gonna blend over top of that. Okay, now we're gonna go in with a little bit of mulberry and cypress umber. Now I want a different brush for this one. I think maybe I'll do a little bit of this brush right here. This is a Morphe M321. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of mulberry, which is this very corner shade, okay? And I'm just gonna take that on this little brush, and we're just gonna concentrate that right here in the corner. See how deep and dark that is? And you can kind of try to fade it in. And I'm just being messy with it because you don't really have a lot of product on your brush, you know? You just barely touch into that color because these Anastasia shadows are so pigmented, you really have to be careful with them. I'm gonna go back in with this brush just so we can try to get that corner blended, because I don't want to move that color too far in or too far up. I want it to stay right exactly where I placed it. I mean, it can move a little bit, but not very much. I don't want it to hardly go anywhere. And you notice how this inner corner is still staying really light and bright. Because once you get colors in your inner corner, it's gonna start to look messy. You can always add, you can hardly ever take away. Okay, so now we're gonna go with a bronzy color on the lid, one of my faves, and I'm just gonna use my fingers. This is the color I'm gonna use, it's called Bronze. Perfect name for this color. I'm gonna go in with my finger and I'm gonna put this on that innermost part. So you just wanna, and you'll see how pigment that is. It's super pigmented. And I don't really go all the way in. And that's what that looks like. I don't really go all the way in. I just kind of go to that inner corner, but you know, not so much to where it's too much. Not like into that little corner, that little groove. Okay, so now that we finished that part up, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the lower lash line. So I'm just gonna be using this little teeny tiny brush for that, and this is called an Morphe E36. I'm gonna go ahead and go in with a little bit of burnt orange, which is this color right here. And we're just gonna take that a little bit on that lower lash line. And we're gonna go in with a little bit of a deeper color. We're gonna go in with mulberry, but ever so slightly on the outer corner. So just place the brush about right here and then kind of work it in. and it just creates that kind of dimension you're looking for, but nothing too intense. Okay, now we're gonna go on the inner corner, and I'm just gonna take this little brush right here, and we're gonna go with Tempera, which is this lightest color, and I'm gonna just barely touch that on the inner corner, just so we have some brightness in there, because you are pretty smoky. Make sure you keep it light and bright as much as you can. And I'm also going to take that color and just take it right up under the brow bone and kind of just fan it out up there. Just because you've got a lot of darkness going on, you want to make sure it's not all the way up to the brow bone, you know. Okay, now we're going to do mascara. So I'm going to just quickly put this on off camera. This is the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise in black brown. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on, and I'll be right back. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and I wanted to mention, if you want to put on false lashes with this you can. Something that is fluttery, like these Ardell Demi Wispies, would look super pretty with this makeup look, but I'm not really a lash girl. Those are just for special occasions, and this is just more of something that's everyday, so I don't really want to wear lashes, so I'm not gonna. But anyway, we're gonna move on to brows. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills something dip brow gel in medium brown, and mine's really worn because I love it and use it. I've been trying to not buy makeup. That's my whole that's a problem, because I love makeup, but I've been trying not to, and I've been trying to use things I already have. So this is something that just happened. Anyway, I've been trying to use things that I already have, and I love this so much. I'm so glad that I have been using it, and you can tell one brow from the other, more defined, and the hairs are fuller over here, and the color's better, and over here they're just kind of because the whole eye is done, and now the brow is just kind of looking a little wonky. So it just helps if you run a little bit of tinted brow gel through your brows. Now, I have thicker brows already, so I don't like to put the time or energy into sculpting them out. I do have products for that, but I don't really use them. Now, if you want to do that, you totally can, but that's up to you. Okay, we're gonna zoom back out so that we can get the face started. Okay, we're back. So we're gonna go ahead and get started on the face. I'm gonna be using some bronzer. This is the Butter Bronzer by Physicians Formula, and my Morphe M527 brush. And I'm just gonna fluff this around the perimeter of the face. It just adds a little dimension back to it. And I also like to just swipe it across the nose, because I don't like to contour at all. Not that I don't think it looks good. I do think it looks good, but I just don't have the time to do that, you know? Okay. Now we're gonna be going in with this Neutrogena Healthy Skin Blush. Been using this recently. I know it's a pinkier color, but it's really, really pretty. It's just a little more natural. And whenever I'm doing this makeup, my face is already so intense, my eyes are already so intense, that I don't really want to add anything extra to the cheeks if they can just be more subtle. Now we're gonna go in with my favorite powder of all time. If you take anything from this video, any product from this video, this is the one you need to get. This is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in Luminous Light. I will use this on my wedding day. I use this every day. This is a staple. I must have it. It is pricey, but oh my gosh, it's so worth it. This is what the product looks like. It's like this very, very, very finely milled, if you can see that, powder. Now I'll swatch it for you right here so you can see it. That's what it looks like. But this is just a luminous, beautiful, finely milled powder, and I just get some on a fluffy brush and I just dust it all over. Now you may be thinking, whoa, you just put highlighter all over your face. No, it's not really a highlighter, it's a luminous powder. So what it's gonna do is, if you have like dry skin or any kind of dull skin and you want to make it look radiant and healthy, this is the kind of powder that I would use. I mean, I just can't get enough of it. I put it everywhere. And it never fails. Like, no matter how much I use, it still looks good. It still looks good. So, that's that. And now we're gonna put on some highlighter. Can't forget that. With this dramatic face, you need something to brighten it up. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Amrezy highlighter. Perfect subtle light gold highlighter for this look. And I'm gonna use this setting brush from Real Techniques. And I'm just gonna grab some of this highlighter and we're gonna put that on the cheek. Boom! Looks, put that brow back. Looks really good. I love this highlighter. Now, I haven't really been much into taking it onto my cheeks like I just did, but for some reason, this highlighter just makes everything look good. Super, super good. Okay, now we're gonna set the face. This is my favorite setting spray. This is the Pixi Hydrating Milky Mist. Shout out to Tati if you ever get to see this. This is based on your recommendation. I cannot get over this stuff. It says it has hyaluronic acid and oat in it, and it's a soothing mist, and I agree with that 110%. Love it. But anyway, I just set my face with this. It has a nice mist on it. Really nice. So we're gonna go ahead and set our face. So good. And if you'll just give that a few seconds to dry, we'll go ahead and move on to the lips. Okay, we're back. So for lips, we're gonna go ahead and put on this lip liner. This is the NYX lip liner in New Truffle. So we're gonna go ahead and put that on. And I'm gonna kind of fill in my lips just a little bit. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and apply my lip color. This is the Fenty Beauty Stunna Lip Paint in Uncuffed. I love this stuff, love it so much. So we're gonna go ahead and apply it. The applicator is amazing. It holds a lot of product, so you have to be really careful when you're applying this. Okay. Alright guys, I think we've officially reached the end of the video. I think that this makeup look turned out super, super pretty. I love the darker nude lip with the bronzy fall, like dead leaves inspired, maybe that's what I'll title this video, dead leaves inspired makeup tutorial. No, anyway. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and you got some inspiration for your own fall makeup looks this season. We all know it doesn't last very long, so you have to get them in while you can. If you do have any other recommendations for fall makeup looks, make sure to leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and all my links for everything will be down in the description box. Thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you till next time. Bye.